He was a terrorist or a freedom fighter, depending on who you asked. But on February 11, 1990, the world held its breath. 27 years. Locked away. Stripped bare. But Nelson Mandela wasn't broken. He'd spent almost 3 decades in prison, yes, but also, he was planning. Planning for the very first day. The first hour. The first handshake. And the world was about to change forever. Africa. A continent forged in resilience, tempered by struggle, and eternally hopeful. We know the stories of our heroes, the giants who walked among us. But sometimes, the most profound truths lie not in the events themselves, but in the quiet moments of preparation. Consider Nelson Mandela. A name synonymous with freedom, with justice, with the unwavering spirit of a people. We remember his release, the iconic image of him walking hand in hand with Winnie, a nation erupting in joyous celebration. But what if I told you that moment, that seemingly spontaneous outpouring of emotion, was decades in the making? Mandela wasn't simply he emerged ready, prepared, and armed with a vision so meticulously crafted, it defied the very brutality of his confinement. 27 years. That's how long he was imprisoned. 27 years of reflection, of strategy, of quiet, unwavering determination. Locked away in Robben Island maximum security prison, and later Portsmouth prison in 1982, Mandela wasn't simply surviving. He was meticulously planning. He observed the prison wardens, understanding their fears, their prejudices, even their hopes. He engaged in endless debates with fellow inmates, forging a unified front, a collective purpose. He studied Afrikaans, the language of his oppressors, not out of obligation, but out of a need to understand them, to anticipate their every move. He used scraps of paper, hidden messages, and clandestine meetings to formulate a blueprint for a new South Africa. A plan so detailed, it covered everything from economic policy to reconciliation initiatives. He even outlined the specific wording of his first public address. Imagine that. Every handshake, every speech, every policy decision, carefully considered, meticulously rehearsed within the crushing confines of a prison cell. We celebrate his charisma, his natural leadership. But what if the Mandela we saw on that day of liberation was not entirely natural? What if it was a carefully constructed persona, honed and perfected over 27 years, designed to achieve one singular, audacious goal? The echoes of colonial exploitation still reverberated across the continent long after flags were raised and anthems sung. Decades of dependency, of being told our land couldn't feed us, our people lacked the skill, the vision, it was a lie etched in our collective psyche. But some refused to believe it. Enter Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary captain of Burkina Faso. He wasn't interested in lavish titles or empty promises. His focus: dignity, self-reliance, and food security for his people. Food, the most basic human need, weaponized by outside forces for generations. Sankara challenged the very narrative of African dependence. He knew that a nation that couldn't feed itself was a nation beholden to others. So he rolled up his sleeves, literally, and got to work, mobilizing communities, reorganizing land ownership, and championing local production. The results? Astounding. In a mere 3 years, Burkina Faso transitioned from a country importing grain to one that was self-sufficient. 3 years. Year on year, production soared. He proved that with the right leadership, the right policies, and above all, unwavering belief in the potential of its people, Africa could not only feed itself but thrive. But this wasn't just about economics. It was about reclaiming our agency, our pride, our right to determine our own destiny. Sankara's vision was clear: empower the people, challenge the status quo, and build a nation for Burkinabe, by Burkinabe. Today, as we grapple with climate change, global inequality, and the legacies of the past, Sankara's example resonates more powerfully than ever before. We face complex challenges, yes, but the blueprint for overcoming them lies within our own history, within the stories of leaders who dared to believe in Africa's boundless potential. The lesson is simple: When Africans lead, Africa rises. And here's the thing that might just blow your mind. Thomas Sankara achieved all of this, transforming his nation, inspiring a continent, in just 4 years. Mandela's story isn't just history, it's a blueprint. 27 years of confinement, yet he emerged with a plan so meticulously crafted it changed a nation. That's the power of foresight, the essence of true African leadership. He understood that freedom wasn't enough, it required a strategy, a vision for reconciliation, for unity, for progress. Today, we face different challenges, but the principle remains: plan, prepare, persevere. Mandela's legacy calls on us, young Africans, to be intentional about building our own futures, about shaping the continent we desire. Let his example inspire your own journey of leadership, in whatever sphere you operate. Show your support for Pan-Africa and the spirit of African leadership. Get your exclusive Pan-Africa merch, starting from just $29, at panafric.com/merch.html. Wear your pride, wear your ambition. Subscribe for more African wealth stories. Globe showing Europe Africa money back.